Have you ever felt the weight of a love lost, as if it were an anchor pulling you down? Breaking up can be profoundly distressing, leaving us grappling with emotions that seem overwhelming. But what if we could turn to the wisdom of ancient philosophers to help us rise above the pain? In today's video, we'll explore how Stoic principles can help us navigate the painful aftermath of a breakup and lead us towards healing and inner peace. Our journey will take us back to ancient Greece, where philosophers like Seneca and Marcus Aurelius taught the art of maintaining composure amidst life's inevitable changes. Fast forward to today, and you'll see that while the landscape of love and dating has evolved dramatically, the essence of our emotional experiences remains constant. Desire, attachment, longing, and the frustration that often follows lost love are as old as time itself. The natural world, with its unchanging rhythms, offers a stark contrast to the fleeting nature of human relationships. In this video, we delve into how embracing Stoic wisdom helps us to recalibrate our emotional responses and accept the transient nature of love with tranquility and poise. By learning to detach and reflect on our experiences, we can emerge from the shadows of past relationships with a clearer, more grounded perspective. Join us as we uncover 8 transformative lessons that embody the Stoic approach to letting go and moving forward. Whether you're dealing with a recent breakup or struggling to overcome lingering attachments, these principles can pave the way to a calmer, more centered you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell to join us on this journey of philosophical exploration and personal growth. Let's embrace the wisdom of the ages and learn how to let go with grace and dignity. Number 1. Avoid imaginary suffering. Let's start with a question. How much of your pain is real and how much of it is imagined? This is a powerful distinction that Seneca, one of the great Stoic philosophers, emphasized in his teachings. He once said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." When you're going through a breakup, this lesson hits harder than ever. Think about it. How often do you find yourself dwelling on past moments, reliving the pain, and imagining worst-case scenarios that may never happen? This constant replaying of situations that no longer exist only deepens your suffering and holds you back from moving forward. In the context of letting go of someone you once loved, much of the emotional turmoil doesn't come from the actual loss, but from the way you allow your mind to cling to the past. It's not the breakup itself that continues to hurt you. It's the stories, the imaginary scenarios, the what could have been or what should have happened that keep you trapped. Your mind becomes the source of your suffering, creating pain from thoughts that aren't even rooted in reality. Picture this. You're scrolling through social media, and there it is, a post from your ex. Instantly, your mind floods with memories of happier times, regrets about how things ended, and maybe even fear or jealousy about what they're doing now. But here's the thing. It's not the post that's causing your suffering. The pain you're experiencing comes from the mental stories you build around it. This is what Seneca was warning us about. Your imagination, left unchecked, amplifies your emotional response. So how can you apply this Stoic wisdom to break the cycle? One practical way is to take control of what triggers these unnecessary feelings. If seeing your ex on social media pulls you into this loop of suffering, consider deactivating your accounts for a while. It's not about running away. It's about giving yourself the space to heal without constant reminders dragging you back into the past. Let this small step be a reminder that you are in control of what you expose yourself to. Another example. You wake up in the morning and the first thing on your mind is your ex. You start your day weighed down by thoughts of them, as if they're controlling your emotions, even from a distance. But what if, instead of letting those thoughts dominate your morning, you chose to disrupt that pattern? Try starting your day with something refreshing, like a brisk walk or a few moments of meditation. These small habits help you break free from mental traps and remind you that you have the power to set the tone for your day. Moving on from someone you loved doesn't mean erasing your memories or suppressing your emotions. It means recognizing when your mind is causing you to suffer unnecessarily. By focusing on what's real, what you can control in the present, you can begin to let go of the grip that these imagined scenarios have over you. Breakups are painful, but most of the pain comes from resisting reality and holding on to a vision that no longer serves you. Once you let go of these mental chains, you free yourself to heal and move forward. The Stoics taught us to master our emotions by mastering our thoughts. It's not the external events that cause suffering, it's how we interpret them. When you catch yourself getting lost in imagined pain, remind yourself that you have the power to step back and choose a different perspective. You can focus on what's within your control and release the rest. Letting go is a gradual process, but with each step, you'll find your mind getting lighter, and your ability to heal will grow stronger. In the end, moving on is an act of reclaiming your peace. You can't change what happened, but you can change how you choose to perceive it now. Instead of suffering over things you can't control, focus on your present and build a future where you're not defined by past relationships. You owe yourself that much. Number 2, don't self-sabotage. When you're dealing with the aftermath of a breakup, the emotional pain can feel like it will never end. It's in these vulnerable moments that we're tempted to engage in behaviors that provide a false sense of relief, but, in reality, only deepen the wound. You may find yourself repeatedly texting your ex, rereading old conversations, or even turning to alcohol or other distractions in an attempt to dull the emotional turmoil. But the truth is, none of these actions will offer the healing you truly need. Instead, they keep you anchored to the past, delaying your ability to move forward and truly let go. In times like these, it's crucial to remember one of the most important teachings of Stoicism: control what you can and accept what you cannot. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher-emperor, reminds us of this in one of his meditations. How much more harmful are the consequences of anger and grief than the circumstances that arouse them in us? The breakup itself, while painful, is just a moment in time. What prolongs the suffering is the way we choose to respond to it. By letting anger, grief, and attachment to the past dictate our actions, we unknowingly sabotage our own path to peace. Let's take a common example: reaching out to your ex after the breakup. You might think a final conversation will bring closure, or that reconnecting will ease the pain. However, in most cases, it only brings more disappointment. Each unanswered message or empty response chips away at your self-esteem, reinforcing feelings of rejection and deepening the emotional wounds. This is a classic case of self-sabotage, where you allow the immediate discomfort to blind you to the longer-term harm you're causing yourself. The Stoic response would be to reflect before acting. Ask yourself, is this action truly beneficial, or am I seeking short-term comfort at the expense of my long-term peace? Stoicism teaches us to let go of what we can't control, including the past and how someone else feels. We can't change the way a relationship ends, nor can we force another person to behave the way we wish. What we can control is our own response. By choosing to step away from self-destructive behaviors, whether it's over-communicating with your ex, isolating yourself, or numbing your emotions, You create the mental space necessary for true healing. To illustrate further, consider someone who turns to alcohol or unhealthy coping mechanisms after a breakup. In the moment, it feels like a solution, a way to escape the intensity of the pain. But after the initial relief wears off, the emotions are still there, often intensified, leading to a cycle of avoidance and deeper emotional distress. As a Stoic, you would recognize this pattern for what it is: an escape, not a solution. The real strength lies in facing your emotions, no matter how uncomfortable, with a clear mind and the understanding that you are capable of enduring them. The path to healing is rarely linear, and it's important to recognize that. You may stumble along the way. You might have moments of weakness where you fall back into old habits. But Stoicism teaches patience and perseverance. Healing takes time, and with each step you take to distance yourself from the pain of the past, you'll begin to feel a sense of peace returning. Every day that you resist the urge to reach out, every moment you choose not to engage in self-destructive behavior, you're building emotional resilience. In time, you'll find that moving on and letting go of someone you once loved is not only possible, but empowering. The end of a relationship doesn't define you. What matters is how you rise from it. By practicing self-control, accepting your emotions without letting them control you, and committing to your own growth, you'll discover that peace lies not in holding on, but in letting go. Trust the process. Healing is a journey, and each day brings you one step closer to emotional freedom. If this resonates with you, take a moment to reflect and acknowledge your journey. If you're ready to embrace a mindset of emotional strength, type, "I will face my emotions with a clear mind," in the comments below. We'd love to hear your thoughts, so don't hesitate to share what this message means to you. And if you're finding value in these insights, don't forget to hit that like button to support the channel. Now, let's move on to the next crucial point in healing. Remember, you're not alone, and seeking support is always a step toward growth. Number 3, don't hesitate to seek support. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Don't be ashamed of needing help. You have a duty to fulfill, just like a soldier on the battlefield. So what if you're injured and can't climb up without another soldier's assistance?" This lesson rings especially true when it comes to matters of the heart. Just as a soldier wouldn't hesitate to accept the hand of a comrade to pull them to safety, neither should we shy away from asking for support when we are emotionally wounded. Letting go of someone you once loved feels like a wound. But healing doesn't mean suffering in silence. It means knowing when and how to heal. Imagine this. You're coming out of a relationship that you thought would last forever. The heartbreak feels raw. Your mind constantly replays old memories. And no matter how much you try, moving on seems impossible. In moments like these, the principles of Stoicism guide us to look inward, to cultivate self-awareness and emotional control. But that doesn't mean you have to walk the road to recovery alone. Stoicism is not about isolation, but about understanding the balance between self-reliance and accepting the help of others. Think of it like this. In a storm, it's not a sign of weakness to take shelter. Just as a ship would seek a lighthouse to navigate through the darkest nights, we too must seek our own guiding lights when life becomes overwhelming. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that seeking support means you've failed at being strong. But in truth, it is one of the wisest decisions you can make. Consider this. You reach out to a close friend who has been through a similar heartbreak, someone who understands exactly what you're going through. They offer a listening ear and some wise words that shift your perspective. Suddenly, you don't feel so alone. Or maybe you seek guidance from a therapist who helps you understand that the pain you're feeling is part of the healing process and gives you tools to cope. Maybe you even find solace in a book written by someone who has turned their own heartbreak into wisdom, and their words resonate deeply within you. In these moments, you realize that support can come in many forms. Stoicism doesn't reject the idea of seeking help from others. In fact, it encourages it. Support isn't about asking others to solve your problems or fix your heart. It's about gaining insights, learning strategies, and finding comfort in shared human experience. The Stoics believed that we are all connected through the commonality of our struggles. As humans, we are bound by the same emotions, and seeking the counsel of others can offer a clearer perspective on how to navigate difficult times. In the context of letting go of someone you once loved, this becomes even more essential. It's easy to fall into a pattern of replaying memories, analyzing every conversation, and wondering if things could have been different. But holding on to these thoughts keeps you trapped in the past. By seeking help, whether from a trusted friend, a family member, or even a professional, you open yourself up to new ways of thinking, to fresh perspectives that allow you to move forward. There is strength in vulnerability. When you reach out, you show not only that you're willing to face your emotions, but also that you're committed to your own growth. And growth often requires the input of others who have walked the path before you. It's like climbing a mountain. Sometimes, you need someone to point out the trail that you can't see through the fog of your own pain. Letting go of someone you loved doesn't mean you're giving up on love altogether. It means you're choosing to release what no longer serves your peace of mind. It means you're choosing to rebuild yourself from the inside out. And sometimes, rebuilding requires the hands of others to help lift the weight. Stoicism teaches us to be resilient, but it also teaches us to be wise. And wisdom, more often than not, involves knowing when to lean on those around you. Don't hesitate to seek support when you're struggling to let go. Your friends, your family, your mentors. They are your fellow soldiers on this battlefield. Their experiences, their insights, and their perspectives can offer you the tools you need to heal and move on. In doing so, you're not just learning to let go. You're evolving, becoming a stronger, wiser version of yourself, one that is capable of loving again, but this time with even greater wisdom and strength. Number 4, embrace the present moment. You've probably felt it before. Those mornings when the ache in your chest is the first thing you notice, or those nights when the silence of your room is deafening, and all you can think about is what could have been. But this is precisely where the Stoic mindset becomes your most powerful ally. Instead of letting your thoughts drag you into the depths of past regrets or future anxieties, Stoicism urges you to focus on the here and now. By doing so, you begin to reclaim your power, bit by bit. Let's break it down with an example. Imagine you're in the middle of a routine day, perhaps at work, but you're distracted, your mind wandering to thoughts of your ex. It's easy to lose hours consumed by what-ifs and if-onlys, replaying scenarios you wish had turned out differently. But what if, instead of falling into that mental trap, you decided to focus fully on the task in front of you? Maybe it's finishing a project, organizing your space, or simply taking a moment to breathe. In that instant, you're no longer trapped in the past. You're in control, living in the present, where healing begins. Stoicism teaches us that we have no control over external events, like a breakup, but we do have control over how we respond. By focusing on the present, you shift from being a victim of your emotions to a person actively engaging in life again. As Marcus Aurelius wisely noted, Don't let your reflection on the whole sweep of life crush you. Don't fill your mind with all the bad things that might happen. Stay focused on the present situation and ask yourself why it's so unbearable and can't be survived. This teaching invites you to examine the present situation. Is the pain of the breakup unbearable, or is it something that you can, over time, learn to live with and move past? The answer lies in taking each moment as it comes. Imagine another scenario. It's late at night and you're tempted to reach out to your ex, maybe to check in or relive a familiar connection. But pause. Instead of acting on impulse, ask yourself, how will this serve my growth? How will this help me in the present moment? Often, the desire to reach out stems from a longing for closure or comfort. But real closure comes from within, through patience and acceptance. So instead, channel your energy into something constructive. Perhaps writing in a journal, working on a personal project, or even stepping outside for fresh air. Each mindful decision pulls you further away from emotional turmoil and closer to inner peace. Stoicism reminds us that everything in life, including relationships, is transient. What once was a source of joy may now be a source of pain, but that too shall pass. By focusing on the present, by being here, now, you reduce the power that past memories or future worries have over you. With each passing day, the grip that the past has on your heart loosens, and the clarity of the present gives you the strength to move on. In practice, letting go might look like dedicating yourself to the small tasks of daily life. Washing the dishes, taking care of your body with exercise, completing a task at work. Though these seem trivial, they are powerful tools in regaining control over your life. They anchor you in the moment, providing a sense of structure when everything else feels chaotic. And with each task you complete, you prove to yourself that you are capable of moving forward. In the end, moving on from someone you once loved is not about forgetting them entirely or pretending the past didn't happen. It's about learning to live fully in the present, to cherish the lessons learned, and to look forward to what's next without clinging to what is already past. You may not be able to erase the memories, but you can choose not to be consumed by them. So, as you embrace each day, remember that healing isn't a race. It's a journey, one that Stoicism teaches us to navigate with patience, mindfulness, and self-compassion. Allow yourself to grow through this process, knowing that with each moment you choose the present, you are choosing freedom. Now that we've explored how embracing the present moment empowers you to reclaim control and move past emotional turmoil, I'd love to hear your thoughts. If this message resonated with you, go ahead and share your reflections in the comments, or simply type, "I choose present, I choose freedom." Engaging with this mindset can be a powerful step in your own journey, and I'd be thrilled to see how you're applying these Stoic principles in your life. Now, let's move on to the next crucial step in your path to peace and growth: releasing resentment. Stay with me as we dive deeper into how letting go of grudges can free your heart and mind from unnecessary burdens. Number 5. Release resentment. Let me ask you something. What do you gain by holding on to resentment? When the person you once loved has moved on and you're left replaying every wrong, every harsh word, every betrayal, does holding on to that pain make you feel stronger? Or does it keep you trapped in a loop of bitterness, unable to move forward? The Stoics believed that clinging to anger and resentment is a waste of energy. In the same way, holding on to the past prevents you from fully embracing the present. Imagine trying to climb a mountain while carrying a heavy stone. Resentment is that stone, weighing you down and stopping your progress. You might feel justified in your anger, but ask yourself, has that anger ever truly improved your life? Has it ever led you to a place of peace? Think about Marcus Aurelius, who once said, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." When you focus on resentment, you allow that person's actions to dictate your feelings, controlling your inner peace. By seeking revenge or holding grudges, you keep your mind occupied with thoughts of the past instead of working on your own growth and betterment. In the end, you become more like the person you despise. Take, for example, a breakup where you were left feeling betrayed. It's natural to be upset, but think of how much energy you spend reliving those moments, how much time you waste thinking about how they wronged you. What if instead you redirected that energy toward improving yourself? What if you used that time to cultivate wisdom, strength, and peace? The Stoic way teaches us that we can't control others' actions, but we can always control our reactions. Letting go of anger doesn't mean you excuse the wrongs done to you. It means you refuse to allow those wrongs to poison your life any further. It's an act of reclaiming your power, of deciding that your peace of mind is more important than clinging to bitterness. If you're finding it hard to let go of anger, try creating a ritual, something that symbolizes your release of resentment. It could be as simple as writing down everything you feel, the hurt, the anger, the frustration, and then burning that paper or tearing it apart. This act serves as a signal to your mind. It's time to let go. This isn't just about getting rid of the paper. It's about freeing your heart and mind from the chains of resentment. You might not feel relief right away, but with time, you'll notice that by letting go, you've made room for peace, clarity, and self-improvement. And isn't that what we're all striving for in life? To grow, to evolve, and to find a sense of peace that no one else can take away. Letting go of someone you once loved is never easy, but holding on to anger will only hold you back. In the end, the most powerful way to move forward is to release the weight of resentment and focus on the only thing you can control, yourself. So, let go, not for them, but for you. Number 6, shift your perspective. Imagine being in a storm, tossed around by the winds and rain. You have no control over the storm itself, but you can choose how you navigate through it. This is much like what the Stoic philosopher Epictetus meant when he said, "We cannot control the external events around us, but we can control our reactions to them." When life throws a breakup your way, it may feel like an overwhelming storm, but within you lies the power to choose your response. Will you let it break you down, or will you rise above, using it as fuel for your growth? In the aftermath of heartbreak, it's easy to fixate on the pain, replaying hurtful words or moments over and over. Let's say your ex-partner said something deeply wounding that you just can't shake. Every time it crosses your mind, you feel the sting all over again. But here's where Stoicism offers a powerful tool: perspective. You can choose to let that comment haunt you, dragging you into bitterness and resentment, or you can choose to let it go. You can see this as a practice in forgiveness and emotional fortitude. Consider this. In the future, whether it's with friends, family, or even new romantic partners, people will inevitably say things that hurt. How you handle this now prepares you for how you'll handle challenges later. This breakup is not just an end. It's a test of your resilience. It's an opportunity to learn how to forgive, how to detach, and how to focus on what you can control: your peace of mind. By shifting your perspective, you turn this painful experience into a chance for personal growth. Letting go of someone you once loved doesn't mean erasing the memories or denying the significance of the relationship. It means reclaiming your power, understanding that you have control over your emotions, and transforming your pain into strength. Stoicism teaches us that adversity is often the greatest teacher. Through this lens, a breakup becomes more than just an emotional wound. It becomes a step forward in becoming the best version of yourself. Moving on isn't about forgetting or pretending it never happened. It's about learning from the experience and using that knowledge to fortify your inner self. Embrace this opportunity to let go and grow stronger. Remember, the Stoics believed that we can't always control the storm, but we can choose how we sail through it. So, how will you choose to navigate this storm? Number 7, cultivate gratitude. Letting go of someone you once loved is one of life's most painful experiences, but it can also be one of the most transformative. Heartbreak has a way of trapping you in a cycle of regret, replaying past moments and wondering where things went wrong. You may find yourself fixated on what could have been or consumed by self-blame. It's human to feel this way, but there's a Stoic lesson hidden within this suffering: the power of gratitude to help you move forward. In Stoicism, life is seen as a series of interconnected moments, each one offering us something to learn. Whether it's joy or pain, these experiences shape us. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, reminded us of the simple truth. When you wake up in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love. Love, even if it didn't last forever, is part of what makes life beautiful. And while the relationship may have ended, the fact that you experienced love is a testament to the richness of life. Think about it this way: the person you loved may no longer be in your life, but the time you spent with them taught you valuable lessons. Maybe it revealed your own strengths, highlighted areas where you need to grow, or helped clarify what you truly want from a relationship. In the Stoic mindset, even the most painful experiences have something to offer us. This shift in thinking is what allows us to not just survive heartache, but to grow from it. Gratitude is not about dismissing your feelings or pretending everything is okay. Instead, it's about acknowledging that, despite the pain, there are still things to be thankful for. Start small. Appreciate the little things, like a morning cup of coffee or the way the sky looks at sunset. These seemingly insignificant moments are reminders that life continues to offer beauty and joy, even in difficult times. Now, let's go a bit deeper. When you're caught in the emotional whirlwind of a breakup, it's easy to forget the positive aspects of the relationship. But the Stoics would urge you to focus on those moments as part of your healing. What did you learn from this person? How did loving them help you grow? These reflections allow you to shift from a place of loss to a place of appreciation. Yes, the relationship ended, but it wasn't a failure. It was a meaningful chapter in your life, one that taught you how to love, how to care, and ultimately, how to let go. Here's an exercise inspired by Stoic practice. Each morning, take 5 minutes to write down 5 things you're grateful for. It doesn't have to be grand or profound. Sometimes it's as simple as being grateful for a quiet moment or the sound of laughter. By focusing on gratitude, especially during tough times, you rewire your brain to see the world through a more positive lens. This simple practice can become a powerful tool for emotional resilience, helping you regain a sense of peace, even after a heartbreak. Letting go is not about forgetting the person or erasing the past. It's about understanding that love, like all things in life, is fleeting. People come and go, but the lessons they leave behind stay with us. The Stoic way is to embrace this impermanence, to find strength in the fact that nothing lasts forever. And that's okay, because in letting go, you make room for new experiences, new growth, and ultimately, a deeper appreciation for life as it is. So, as you navigate the aftermath of a breakup, remember to cultivate gratitude, not just for the good times, but for the challenges as well. The pain of letting go is real, but it's also temporary. What remains is your capacity to love, to grow, and to move forward, stronger than before. The Stoics remind us that everything in life, even heartache, has its place. It's up to us to find meaning in it and to continue our journey with an open heart. Number 8. Accept your emotions. When someone you once loved walks out of your life, the pain that follows can feel unbearable. But as much as we want to hold on, one of the hardest and most necessary lessons in life, especially in Stoicism, is learning to move on and let go. We often think that moving on means being emotionless or suppressing the sadness that comes with loss, but that couldn't be further from the truth. True strength lies in acknowledging your emotions and allowing yourself to feel them fully, without being controlled by them. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most celebrated Stoic philosophers, understood this deeply. He wasn't afraid to cry. In fact, there are records of him weeping during some of the most difficult moments of his life. Stoicism doesn't teach us to become emotionless robots. On the contrary, it teaches us to accept our emotions as natural responses to life's challenges. After all, suppressing emotions only prolongs the pain. To heal and grow, you need to face those emotions head-on. For instance, after a breakup, it's common to feel waves of sadness, anger, or even regret. A Stoic approach would encourage you not to fight these emotions, but to sit with them, understand them, and let them flow. Bottling them up will only lead to more suffering later on. Think of it this way. Emotions are like water. If you block their path, they will flood everything around you. But if you allow them to flow, eventually they will settle and leave you with a clearer perspective. When you let go of someone you loved, you also let go of the idea that your happiness was tied to that person. Stoicism teaches that we are responsible for our own inner peace. Relationships may end, but your ability to find peace within yourself remains constant. So, instead of clinging to the past or trying to change what you cannot control, focus on what you can, your response to the situation. For example, let's say you find yourself thinking about the person late at night, overwhelmed by the memories of the good times. Instead of drowning in sorrow, remind yourself that emotions are temporary. They come and go like the tides. Recognizing this helps you navigate the waves of sadness without being swept away. You can still mourn the loss, but don't let it consume you. Accept the emotions, allow them to surface, and then release them. In time, by confronting and processing your emotions, you create space for new experiences and personal growth. Remember, letting go is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength. You are choosing to protect your peace, to prioritize your well-being, and to move forward with resilience. This, my friends, is the essence of emotional intelligence and a true reflection of Stoic wisdom. As you learn to let go of the past, you make room for a brighter, more peaceful future. As we wrap up this video on how Stoic principles can help you heal from a breakup, it's important to understand that Stoicism doesn't introduce new ideas. Instead, it helps us rediscover timeless wisdom. While many of the teachings may seem familiar, it's the commitment to applying them that truly makes a difference. Here's a practical challenge for you. Pick one Stoic principle we discussed today and implement it in your daily life for a week. Spend just 15 minutes each day reflecting on how it affects your thoughts, actions, and emotions in your journal. After a week, choose another principle and repeat the process. By the end of the month, you'll have integrated 4 powerful Stoic lessons into your mindset, setting the stage for transformative changes in your life. While Stoicism isn't a magic solution, it can be a guiding light for navigating your thoughts and feelings, especially during challenging times like a breakup. Remember, small, consistent actions can lead to significant transformations. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and share your experiences with Stoic practices in the comments below. For more insights into Stoicism and its influence on relationships, be sure to check out the additional videos linked at the end screen. Keep practicing, keep growing, and embrace the Stoic virtues that can lead to a more fulfilling and meaningful life.